Good afternoon, world. It's a very late afternoon here in Portugal. We're heading out for a walk because we've been inside all day and we need to get out. Baby Story's in the sling. Look at those squashed up little cheeks. Yeah, you're like a little assassin in there, don't you?
Oh, you like it?
Love your hood.
Yeah?
Good girl. We're both in agreement that Story will be laughing in a few days' time.
Yeah.
She's already giving signs that she's going to start cracking up soon.
Yeah, she started making noises when she smiles.
Yeah.
And then it develops into a slight laugh, but
Yeah.
not quite there yet.
She strung like two cackles together. We just missed it on the camera, but it wouldn't have sounded like a laugh yet. Not to anyone else. To us. To us it does.
Yeah, but it won't be long.
We've both been having some serious chats about where we're going with this channel, with this YouTube channel, what we're about, what is our focus. Unfortunately, in the world of YouTube, if you don't have a focus or a specialty, then nobody can really find your videos. In an ideal world, we would love to be able to just keep this as a documenting day-to-day life, but YouTube doesn't know what to do with us. It doesn't know who we are. Are we vegetarians? Are we baby family vloggers? Are we pet travelling people? Portugal? What are we? It doesn't know, so our channel isn't growing very fast. It's difficult because we dedicate so much time to making these videos that if it doesn't grow at faster rates, then we won't be able to continue doing them as much as we do now, and that would be a shame. So we've been having a lot of discussions about how to change the focus of the channel a little bit, and that's why we spent most of this morning just trying to work out where we're going to go with this, how to keep the channel alive. Landscape is looking very green after those heavy days of rain. Smells nice.
Look at you. It's nearly your bedtime, isn't it? Do you know that? You see what a big girl you've got. Because there was a time not that long ago when you would have fallen asleep within seconds of being in the sling. Hey? And now you stayed awake the whole time. Don't you? Hey?
One thing is for certain, we definitely don't want to stop vlogging because we'll miss little things like this. We'll miss all these little moments that you generally wouldn't film if you weren't walking around with a camera. So we were talking about, like, what are we? What do we have? We have this. We live in Portugal. It's different.
We live in an unusual location.
We're younger than most people that decide to move abroad as expats. That's quite a new thing. We're vegetarians in a meat-eating country. There's quite a few factors that make what we do unique, but I think we just need to kind of channel it down a bit, make it a bit more focused. We'll find a way to keep this channel going and growing. Still not sleeping.
No, we've got half an hour to her bedtime.
Oh my goodness. Without delay, Eden's brought all the toys because she knows it's her dinner time, don't you? About 6 o'clock you eat, don't you? Yes, I'm ready for my dinner. Okay, so in the interest of being more focused, we've decided to share more often a little bit more of the recipes we've discovered since turning vegetarian, because what's quite interesting about all of this is that once you change from eating chicken, let's say, to just eating vegetables, you need to find alternatives for a balanced diet. So we ended up replacing a lot of the meats that we eat with different beans and pulses, like we showed you in our shopping haul that just went up. And we discovered some really interesting combinations of foods. So today Sasha is cooking
a butternut squash and lentil dal.
Okay, that sounds pretty exotic.
Okay, Eden has had her dinner. I've just come into the bedroom. It is nearly her bedtime, so she's having her final bottle before bed. She is drinking from a medium flow nib now. We found the fast flow bottles were too fast and they made her spit up quite a lot still. And the slow flow nibs now are just too slow. Like, she'll take up to an hour to drink 5 or 6 ounces, which is too slow. Night night, Story. Okay, Story is tucked up in bed. She's quite a good sleeper, to be honest, which we're very grateful for. We put her to bed while she's still awake after her last bottle, her last feed of the day. Change her nappy and burp her, make sure she's all comfortable, and we just lay her in her crib, normally around 6:30 or 7 o'clock at night, and normally it takes her about 15-20 minutes to get to sleep by herself. She will sleep until about 11 o'clock at night. She wakes up for another feed, and then she'll sleep through until about 6, which is really good. I know all that might change though when she starts teething, so we're just making the most of this nice period when she is quite good at sleeping. Hopefully it will continue. Now Story's in bed and Eden has had her dinner. I'm going to crack on with Jay and I's dinner. And like I mentioned a little minute ago to Jay, I'm making a butternut squash and lentil dal tonight. It is a deliciously Ella recipe, but I'm going to adapt it a little bit, which is something I normally always do with any recipe. I always add extra ingredients or a bit more of this, a bit more of that. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to get all the ingredients ready now. Okay, so far I have got 200 grams of green lentils, which are simmering in a pan of salty water, and I've fried off some ginger and garlic, which I've now added to the lentils. I chopped up a whole butternut squash that is also going to be added to the lentils in about 10 minutes once the lentils have softened. So it's a really simple recipe, there's not that much to it really, and it all just ends up being thrown into one pan, so that's always a good situation. You don't have much washing up at the end either. I've got my little bowl of spices here. The recipe only calls for turmeric and cumin, a tablespoon of each, but I've added in some chilli just because I like it. I'm not sure if dals are meant to be spicy or not, but I thought it would be nice. Alright, I have just added in the butternut squash to the pan with the lentils, and also added in 2 tablespoons of tomato puree and the bowl of spices. I'm just giving it a good mix up now. Add a little bit more water, and then you just leave it to simmer until the squash is cooked, and I believe that is it. I'm just checking the recipe, and yes, I have done everything. So I'm just going to leave it to simmer in the pan for about half an hour until it's all nice and squishy. It says here as well that you can swap the squash for another vegetable like a sweet potato, which might be nice. We get a lot of sweet potatoes here, so I might try that one next time. It does say to serve with brown rice as well, and annoyingly we haven't been able to find brown rice in our supermarket for weeks, so we just haven't been having it. Don't know why. I think maybe me and Jay ate it all and they just haven't restocked it. No one else eats brown rice here, I'm not sure, because there's tons and tons of white, but just can't find brown rice at all in our supermarket now, so I will do some couscous with it instead. While that's cooking, I am gonna make up Story's next batch of bottles for the night and tomorrow. Some people make up each bottle as they go, so it's a fresh mix every time for each feed, but we have found since we've been using bottles, we've made up the batch of 5 or 6 bottles at a time and just heated them up in the bottle warmer, and Story hasn't got sick and she's been absolutely fine doing that, so we're going to continue making up a batch and warming them up as and when she needs them. Story's drinking 6 ounces per feed now, which is good, and she has 6 bottles a day, and the doctor said at her last visit that by next month, at month 4, we can start introducing solids to her, so I'm really excited about that. I'm looking forward to that and cooking for her and seeing what she eats and what she doesn't eat. So next month will be interesting. Over here I think my dal is finished. I actually didn't stray too far from the recipe this time. It doesn't look too bad, it smells really nice, and I just added a handful of spinach, and I'm serving it with spiced couscous rather than rice, and I put some saffron spice in the couscous with some salt and pepper. Couscous looks good, it's turned out quite nice, really nice and yellow from all the saffron. Time to dish up. And here it is. I think that looks pretty good. Let's take it to Joe and see what he thinks. Here's my first attempt at a dal.
Smells very authentic.
I think it looks quite good too. Before I sit down to eat my dinner, I'm going to do a last little check on Story. I like to just check she's okay before I sit down and eat. It's been over an hour since I put her down. Okay, dinner time. While I've been in the kitchen, Jay has got this lovely roaring fire going. Looks good. And there's some nice heat coming out of that. Very nice. How is it? Have you tried it yet?
I tasted a little bit, yeah.
Nice.
It tastes lentily. Yeah, it's got good flavours.
And on that note, I'm going to end the vlog for today. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. And also, if you fancy, please share our videos so other people can see them and watch them as well. That's all for today. We're going to watch some TV now, or laptop. We're watching Westworld. It's quite a good series.
I really like it.
Yeah, it's cool. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye.
Refining the host. Myself, a team of engineers, and my partner. His name was Arnold. He wanted to create consciousness.
The board, sir. We promised them a new storyline.
They should have one. Something quite original. Perhaps this time you